Gentlemen, it is about that time. Mock draft. Just think. One day, 3 hours, 37 minutes, 48 seconds from when this video is being made. We will be together and we will be drafting for the season here. Seems like it was a long off season, I will say that, but it does seem like the last month or so has kind of flown by, and we're almost there. Almost time to actually put all of our hard work to good use and actually see what we come up with for teams here. So, but before we draft, as I was kind of telling everyone, we typically do a mock draft every year. Unfortunately, work has been crazy. I think it's probably been that way for a lot of us. I know Josh released a video earlier today for his league that he's in, speaking the same thing. Just, work has been insane this week. Usually I take the entire week off so I can prep, get stuff done and clean and all that. And like this year, that wasn't possible. So I've been scrambling just to get through the work week and to have things kind of ready to go for when some start to come early. So I know this is, of course, when we're recording this video right now. It's Friday afternoon, about 3:23, and I know we've got a few already on their way up for the weekend, with many more coming tomorrow. So let's get this mock draft on. It won't be very long. I've decided we're only going to do it about 4 rounds, just to kind of keep it short. But the idea of the mock draft, honestly, is we kind of want to play it out for some conversation for tomorrow when we actually do the real draft. This is just for fun. I have not talked to any of you for all of your draft secrets, and we're not giving anything away. This is just based on mock drafts that I've done, some things that I've kind of considered. It's probably giving away a little bit more of my thoughts than anybody else's. So, I haven't talked to somebody and know who they're taking first round, and I'm going to put that on there for everyone to see. Nope, don't be worried about that. It's just really kind of going, and it's for the most part going to be going kind of in order of, availability and so on. But I just want to talk through a couple scenarios and things like that as we go through. And I just really want to see how it unfolds when we actually hit the real draft. So let's jump in to the mock draft. We'll start a new one here. All right, perfect. So right at 7 o'clock tomorrow, after we do a quick intro, it will be then Sean on the clock here. So, and I don't think it didn't pull in names. Of course it doesn't. So I may have to reference that. So hold on. I think I have all of these memorized by now. I think even though it doesn't show it on here, I think I pretty much know. But we'll pull it up on the other computer that I have here. So Sean has the number 1 pick. Sean, of course, will have a ton of different options that he can go when he is up to draft. If we're doing this based on what I think he's going to take a wide receiver. I think he's going to take probably the best available. There's multiple wide receivers as of right now, of course, that he could take. A couple of them are dealing with contracts and holdouts and so on, which will be even more fun when I talk about the next couple of picks here. But I'm going to say for our mock draft purpose that Sean is going to take Tyreek Hill. And if I remember right, he had him last year, and he has him again this year, and he didn't have to keep him. So number 2, Jeremy already has Bijan, so we'll skip him. Then number 3, then we jump to Adam. And I think it's Adam and then myself. We'll kind of talk through both a little bit. So, again, I haven't talked to Adam. I don't know what he's thinking. I just know what I'm thinking. And for me, in this league, it's nice to have a strong wide receiver core. And both Adam and I have second-round picks that are wide receivers. So pairing them with 2 strong wide receivers right here just makes sense. Just what's a little scary is both Lamb and Chase, I know, and again, I've been working like crazy, so maybe there's an update yesterday and today that I missed. But to my knowledge, they're both dealing with contract issues and holdouts and haven't practiced and all that good stuff, which just scares me this close to the season. Because, of course, even if they do sign a contract soon, right, they haven't been practicing. And then possible injuries that happen when you jump into real action when you haven't been practicing and so on. So, but For the sake of this, I'm going to say we're not going to worry about that. I don't know if that will, if there's going to be any news between right now and tomorrow that'll change my mind. Hope so. Be nice if actually both of these get their contract issues and all of that kind of stuff taken care of, and we don't have to deal with it. So, but I'm going to say as of right now, we'll just go in order. So I think the next wide receiver in order is CeeDee Lamb. So I will just give that to Adam. After that, then is Ja'Marr Chase, and I will just give that to myself. And then next, so after me then is Will. Will then, of course. So kind of let's see what Will needs here. So he's got wide receiver, 2 running backs. So I mean he could still go really any route, right? So with the wide receivers gone, I mean I would assume that Will would be kind of thinking the same thing. The 3 strongest wide receivers are gone. Maybe he's a Garrett Wilson fan. You've got some other names coming up here, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say Will goes with Barkley and then just goes for the strongest running back. That's one of those that like you don't know. He's in a new situation. He could be a touchdown scoring machine. And maybe that's what Will's going for. So Will takes Barkley. Next would be Josh. He already has his pick with McCaffrey. Quite the deal there, right, of getting McCaffrey that late in the draft. That's why our keeper league is so much fun. Next on the clock then would be Jay. Jay's got a quarterback, running back, and tight end. He's got Laporta. You are welcome once again. So he could still go in any direction that's out here. Just looking that's available. We're going to say, I mean, there's quite a few wide receivers that are still listed up here. I don't think he reaches too far down. I mean, he could reach for maybe one of the running backs that he really likes down here. Because, I mean, he's got White, but I think for this draft, though, I think we're going to still kind of go in order on there. And he's going to go strong wide receiver and going to take Garrett Wilson. Next on the clock then would be Dez, who kept Jefferson. And then next would be Jake. And Jake's got a pretty strong running back core. And then Tank Dell as a wide receiver. So Jake Accor, again, could go in a ton of different routes. He's got strong wide receivers, running backs. Probably looking for wide receiver here. Could even go tight end. We all know Jake could go in any direction. Doesn't always follow. I don't know, actually. I think the last couple of years when he has made it to the draft, and it hasn't been on auto draft, that he sticks pretty much to the listed plan. So we'll say he's going to take Marvin Harrison. Again, nothing crazy on here. After Jake, then we go Clint. Clint's got quarterback, wide receiver, running back, pretty strong running back too. So he still, of course, can go in any direction. Could even go Travis Kelce, because I think he had him last year, right? And then traded him, if I remember right. I don't see him going that route again. I'm going to say he goes wide receiver, keeps wide receiver, and he takes Drake London. Next then, Ian. Ian's got St. Brown, Sheed Rice, and Stroud. Not desperately, but he could use a running back because he's not going to get one in the next round. So would almost think that's probably what he's thinking, and we'll just take top off the board, Travis Etienne. Next, John. John gets back-to-back picks. Kind of a nice spot to be. He's got 2 decent running backs, 1 phenomenal running back, and then a wide receiver in Pittman. So he probably doesn't have to look at running back here. He could probably really take best available. Definitely would want a wide receiver probably somewhere throughout here. So we'll give him the best. We'll say Olave. And then coming back around, since he's got 2 running backs, he has that flexibility to kind of go in any direction, right? So I'm going to say he takes Travis Kelce. And then now has 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and pretty solid team so far. So Ian already has his pick in the second round with St. Brown. Then going back to Clint. Clint now has 2 strong wide receivers and 1 running back. We'll say for the sake of this right here, then he goes running back just to kind of even everything out. Takes Achane. And then next would be Jake. Already has Taylor. And then moving to Dez. Dez now then wide receiver, 2 running backs. So again, kind of opens it up to whatever route he wants to go. We're going to say then that since he has 2 running backs, he's going to take One of the best wide receivers that are out there. Could go a couple of different routes. I'm sure it's all depending on who he likes and so on, but we're probably just going to take kind of the top name on the board and just say he's going to go with Brandon Ayuk. All right, then next, after Dez, goes back to Jay. Jay now has then a little bit of everything, one of everything, so he can go in any route. Next best available shows Josh Jacob. He could go quarterback. He could take any of the wide receivers. Yeah, this one's kind of a tough one. I know. I think like Jay doesn't need. Go back. Yep, he has Lamar, so he doesn't need a quarterback. So that helps a little bit. I'm going to say just go strong wide receiver. Takes Mike Evans. Then we hit Josh. Josh then, of course, has running back and wide receiver, so still pretty much needs a little bit of everything. Could go, Josh Jacobs, depending on how much he likes him. Could go quarterback here. Could go strong wide receiver. That's the route I'm going to say he takes. I say he takes Diggs as a wide receiver. So, and then for the next part, the next three, actually finishing out the second round here, we'll go nice and quick because Will already has Henry. I have Brown. Adam then has Adams, and it just really goes to Jeremy then for his pick. Jeremy then has one of everything. Probably take best available. This, of course, then will come down to his favorite. He doesn't need a quarterback. I would imagine he's going with Love as his starting quarterback throughout the year. I'm going to say he goes wide receiver and takes Waddle. I want to say I think he had Waddle last year too, so because I think I was predicting him possibly to keep Waddle throughout the year, but who knows? Anyways, last pick then in the first round as it goes back to Sean as he's already kept Gibbs. So Sean's back on the clock for round 3. 2 running backs, 2 pretty strong running backs, best wide receiver and a tight end. A lot of good quarterbacks available as of right now, but Sean's draft history in the past, I don't think has ever had him draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, so I'm not going to predict that now. You do have to look at, since it is Sean, is there anyone Detroit related that would be drafted soon? And no, they're already off the board or not on the board for a while. So it'll probably come down to him drafting to his preference. And I'm going to say, I think he had Moore last year, if I remember right, but I'm going to give him DJ Moore as kind of pretty good, strong wide receiver core now that he has. So then it goes to Jeremy. Jeremy again, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. Would probably be looking right to add a running back to the core. I'm going to give him the top on the board. Give him Josh Jacobs. Then it goes to Adam. Adam, 2 wide receivers, a running back, and a quarterback. Doesn't need a quarterback. Could go through, a 3rd strong wide receiver. Could go tight end. I believe he drafted Kupp last year. Let's just say he's going to do it again this year and hope for the best. All right, and then I am up on the board. So I've got Chase, Brown, I've got a quarterback, and got Reed. Oh boy, I've got nothing for running backs on here, which already now freaks me out now that we're doing this. Who's best running back available? Ouch. Yeah. Which would be 50, which would be a stretch here. I don't need a quarterback. Got 3 receivers. Man, rough. Well, we'll save for conversation that I'm going to wait on a running back then and hope I can piece it together. I'm going to take Mark Andrews then. After me then, Will, 2 running backs, wide receiver. Actually, 3 running backs and a wide receiver. He does need a quarterback. That's probably what's best on the board. I'm going to say he takes Patrick Mahomes. All right, next then, Josh. Josh has 2 wide receivers and a running back. He could go in any direction as well. He's probably holding out right for quarterback for his boy from Jacksonville. I'm going to say this year he decides not to go that route, and he's going to take a quarterback here, and he takes Jalen Hurts. I'm sure that's probably not going to happen because he favors that Jacksonville team, but Maybe this is what Josh should do, not what Josh is going to do. Anyways, moving on then. Jay's next. Jay already has that quarterback. 1 running back, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. So he could definitely, really, running back, wide receiver could use probably whoever's best on the board. And we'll say he takes Neighbors' best wide receiver on the board. Next then, Dez. Dez already has Mixon, so we'll move on. After Dez then goes back to Jake. Jake again, 2. So he's got 2 and 2. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Could probably go any direction. Could add a tight end. Could be a quarterback if one of those quarterbacks fall. I'm just going to say he's pretty much just going to go straight chalk, go off what's next best on the board. Takes Devontae Smith. Next, Clint. Clint already has Josh Allen, so we're set. Move on. Then we go to Ian. Ian, again, has 2 wide receivers, quarterback, and a running back. So probably looking running back, tight end maybe here. Walker's on there. A couple strong tight ends. I'm going to say he goes tight end here. And I'm going to say Kittle. And then at the end here, John already has a pick for Breece Hall. So 3 rounds done, 1 round to go. John is on the clock starting the 4th round here. So John now has 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end. Pretty solid team so far, John. Good job. He could add probably a little bit of anything to it. Could go running back, could go wide receiver. I say he goes with wide receiver and takes best available, Zay Flowers. Next then, Ian. Ian just took Kittle, so took a tight end, got 2 wide receivers, and only 1 running back. So this might be where Ian's thinking then, I need that running back, going to take the next best available. Adds Walker to his team. Clint already has his 4th rounder in Metcalf, so we'll move on. Then we go to Jake. So Jake's now got what? 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. So Jake could use tight end, quarterback, maybe. And look at that. We've got tight ends as the top choice on there. So I'm going to say Jake goes tight end and takes Kyle Pitts. Next, then we go to Dez. Dez, strong team as we see it on paper here. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Tight end, quarterback. He probably wouldn't go either of them in the 4th round. I'm going to say he strengthens his team even more with another wide receiver. I say he goes Pickens. So now he has 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Awesome. All right, next up would be Jay. Jay already has his pick in Lamar. So then we go to Josh. Josh just took a quarterback last round, and he's got then 2 wide receivers and really needs a running back. Now, could wait, but running back is definitely a need on there. So, he already took quarterback, doesn't need a quarterback. So let's say if he goes running back then, goes next best available, takes Aaron Jones. All right, next then would be Will. Will already has his 4th pick with Samuel, and then it falls to me. 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a quarterback. Sounds great, but I have no running back depth. And wow. What's fun about doing these mock drafts, right? You almost feel like you have to go running back here, but it's such a reach compared to what's available. I could take a strong tight end. I guess for this fun mock draft, I'm going to say I'm still going to wait another round on running backs. I will have the worst running back core in the league, and I'm going to take a tight end. Nope, sorry, back up. I already took a tight end. Last round, so let's try that again. And no, I'm not going to take 2 tight ends back to back, so we'll stop. We'll go again. I have 3 wide receivers. I guess I have to reach at running back here then. They all look fantastic. I'm going to take top of the board. I'm going to take Swift. All right, next, then we've got Adam. And Adam, 3 strong wide receivers, depending on, of course, Cup and how this year goes. A running back and a quarterback. So he also needs a running back, could use a tight end. I'm going to give him a tight end, next best available, and say he goes that route. All right, 2 picks left. Jeremy on the clock. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a quarterback. Could really go any direction here except for quarterback. I'm going to say he just takes a strong wide receiver and say he takes Higgins. All right, and that will wrap us up here as we hit Sean at the end of the 4th round. Sean again has 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. Pretty strong team on paper. Again, I don't think he's going the route of quarterback at this spot. Next best available for a running back is Montgomery, and I don't see him taking Montgomery and Gibbs. So I say at least for the 4th round, and then on the turn he can decide to do whatever he wants to, and not have to listen to me predict it. But I'm just going to say he goes wide receiver here and goes, yeah, I'm going to not say Keenan Allen since he has more. I'm going to say Amari Cooper. So there you have it. There is all 4 rounds mock draft as we go through. Didn't take long. It's what I'm hoping for when we actually do the draft. Because we have so many keepers that we should actually move along pretty quickly, especially the first, 6 rounds or so. And I don't see our draft taking, at least not the full 3 hours that it normally takes throughout the year. So feel free to look at this, have a little fun, see how it compares to what you were thinking, your draft, and so on. But ultimately, I'm going to save this because I'm going to use this for fun as we do our actual draft tomorrow, just to see if I was anywhere close with your thoughts, or if some of you are just going way off the page or way off the projections at least, and with your picks, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it. So, all right, guys, for those of you that are traveling up, drive safe. I'll see you between today and tomorrow. For those of you that can't join us live this year, we're still trying to do something where maybe you guys can be online. I think we tried Facebook Live last year, but it didn't work great. But also my internet went out during the draft last year, so we had to deal with that. So hopefully that won't happen this year, and maybe Facebook Live, if we choose to use that, will work better. But we'll play around with it a little bit over the next couple of days and try to see. So at least you guys can be part of it and kind of hear and help make fun of everybody and all that good stuff that we love to do at our live draft. So, all right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon for the draft.